Right? So let's see where the pressing matter at hand right now, Mr. Joseph. Children who are getting ready for S.E.A.
Whew. All right, now I don't want to sound like I'm ranting on your program, but before I get into that, there's some things that I wanted to actually use as what do you call it, precursor to the discussion.
Okay.
And for a while now, I have had a stance that S.E.A. should not exist.
Okay.
Right? I believe that it is almost an academically abusive system that structures children into streaming, a school streaming type structure system, educational system that has not proven to be the best for the country. Right? We'd had some time ago, we'd have seen some people protesting and rioting and that kind of thing and so on, frustrated with inequalities. And this type of educational system with the S.E.A. helps fuel that kind of inequality and that kind of system.
Okay.
Because the people who have less access to certain types of resources usually do poorly at S.E.A., are streamlined into schools that are poorly funded, have poor resources, don't necessarily have what the other schools that might be streamlined in a particular direction have. And so they already get a head start at life. They are the ones generally who parents already have money and are in good jobs and so on and that kind of thing. And I think it's a system that perpetuates inequality to begin with.
Okay.
I am a strong advocate, right, for eradicating the S.E.A. structured system.
Okay, so I want to pitch something to you here. In Grenada, for instance, because of the pandemic, they didn't have their version of S.E.A. this year. They took the results from, let's say, Standard 1 to Standard 3 combined, and then the results from Standard 4, Standard 5, but they call it grades. They graded differently.
Right,
but
yeah,
basically,
grade system.
yeah, they used the marks that the children would have used or would have gathered going to school, going to primary school, to choose what school they would have attended. How you feel? So you're saying we should go to something like that?
Actually, I'm saying that we should not reinvent the wheel. We should look at systems that exist that are very successful. And for that, I'll turn to Finland.
Okay.
And in Finland, what they do essentially is they zone you. So education is zonal. Now,
but that will also require having good schools in each zone.
So, correct. What it means, therefore, is that the child from Arima, whose parents went to, I don't know, convent or something, or some prestige school in Port of Spain, and they have resources, or the child from Valsain, right, who now has to send their child to, let's say, a school in Curep, because Curep is the closest school, or Mount Hope.
Right.
What was Mount Hope Junior Secondary, now Mount Hope Secondary, and a child from Valsain, parents from Valsain has to send their child there. What now? Then what you're going to find is you're going to find those parents pumping resources into the school.
Oh, okay.
You're going to find, all right, so you're going to find now, it's going to take a restructuring of the system, because now teachers should also come from within, closest to the environment of the school as well, so that the teachers will better understand the culture the students are coming from. So when you take a child, let's say, for example, a teacher, for example, and you bring the teacher from Shogunas, Pinal, South, and then you bring them to Mokarapo or Success, right? And this is not necessarily to be racist, but ethnicity has to come and play into the mix, right? And you bring an East Indian teacher, let's say from Pinal, who is accustomed to having, when she says to students, this is the homework, everybody does the homework, they bring it back and everybody rushing to show Miss the homework in the morning. When she says sit, everybody sits. But when you bring Miss from Pinal and you send her, not much teaching experience, straight out of country, you send her to Success Laventil, and not to knock the school, I have done plenty work in Success, there are brilliant students there, but the culture is very different. And now this teacher is not familiar with the culture, she's not from around the area. She has to travel very far in the morning, it means she has to get up early, she already stressed having just to get to work. So when she says, this is the homework, and most of the students don't do it, that's not a culture she's accustomed to. How does she deal with that? She's frustrated and she's stressed. She can't relate to the structure. When she said, well, why people didn't do the homework? Well, we didn't have no current. If we don't have current on a Wednesday, you should know that. You know what I mean? And so that is the culture of the neighborhood and the environment and so on. So I've always advocated as well that teachers should come from the area. Teachers should be familiar with the needs of the area, the culture, and so on. And it helps with connecting with the students and with the students being able to connect with the teacher as well. So that it will call for a total restructuring of how we view the education system. No more of this prestige this and this prestige that and so on and whatever.
But don't you think that because the country we live in, and let's be real, we have a country with that kind of capitalist mentality, I think we'll find more private schools popping up. I think because the people who don't want their children to go to those schools in the first place, they'll say, no, I might send them a child there. And then obviously it will have oversubscription to the private schools. So to the S.E.A and the Northgate and these schools.
Great.
So then...
Great. So we have smaller numbers of students in the public schools, smaller classrooms, so the teachers could focus on teaching students on one-on-one. Great.
Okay. I mean, I definitely need to put all sides, to the table. All right.